Hey guys, it's the Bat. I'm back again with another comic book haul. I hope everyone had a great and financially sound free comic book day, and May the 4th, for May the 4th be with you, because a lot of shops had sales even for that day, which I will show you. I've been very, very busy between work, then coming home to this comic book room that looks like a tornado hit it. Just trying to get everything organized, trying to catalog the new books that I got. Man, it's been a busy, busy time. So without further ado, let me get into these books because I got quite a few to show. This Street Fighter 5 actually is an older free comic book day, but at the first stop, he had a lot of the older books, free comic book day books out that he didn't get rid of previously. So I've always been a fan of Street Fighter, and definitely just had to pick another one up. Same with this one, Star Wars High Republic Adventures, free comic book day. DC We Are Legends, special edition number 1. With all these new characters or new concepts that DC is trying out. I don't know. Like DC, the boat is kind of turning a little bit. I picked up Shazam number 1. Great, great first issue. The new Green Lantern, which was also great. I mean, prospects are starting to look good. And the funny thing about it, they're all written by seasoned writers. Let me say that again, seasoned writers, because writers that they've been using for DC just don't know how to write comics. They just, I don't know. I don't want to get into politics and this and that and the third, but they just don't know how to write good comic books. And I'm glad to see some of the old guys coming back to the fold. Maybe they can start some kind of tutoring ship to teach people how to write comic books. But I mean, I think it's a little bit more than that, but I'm not even getting into that. Free comic book day, Mad Balls versus Garbage Pail Kids, Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, Uncanny Avengers. Only picked up 1 copy of that. Didn't really impress me. Star Trek The Day of Blood Prelude, Frazettaverse, which is kind of intriguing. I like Frank Frazetta. West of Sundown, free comic book day. I got this. One of the guys that owned the comic book shop, I was talking to him. He said to pick this up. I'm not really a Jeff Lemire. I mean, he's got some good stuff, but I'm not a fan of his art. His art just doesn't do a thing for me. Maybe it might be a moody. He can capture mood, emotions. I don't know. Just never been a big fan. Dawn of the DC. I picked up quite a few copies of that, and it's wild because a lot of the free comic book day books were jumping in price, and I was like, I'm picking the wrong one. I'm picking everything but. Oh boy. Adventure, Star Wars The High Republic Adventures. Picked up 2 copies of that. Oh, 3 copies of that. I apologize. This one I thought was going to be a sure bet, but I guess I was wrong. I don't know. Maybe the verdict isn't out yet on this book. Spider-Man and Venom free comic book day number 1. Now, I did get 2 copies of the Red Sonja, which got a little bit of notable heat. And I was surprised. I mean, because I thought for sure it was reprints of early John Buscema art. And it's not. It's Delator or Delatore, whichever way. I don't know which way is the correct way. But, I mean, he got to be a direct disciple of Buscema, because the art is so similar. I mean, it's fantastic. And if that's any indication of what this book is going to be, sans the writing, I'm on for it. I think I will buy it because I'm a John Buscema is my favorite artist of all time. I just like the way he conveys emotion, and I mean, amazing artist. And I have a few of them that I really look up to, but John Buscema, he's one of the tops, if not the top for me. Picked up a couple copies of Conan, and I did strike it with this book, The Gamerverse. This book came out before Free Comic Book Day. It came out that Wednesday, before Free Comic Book Day, which happened on Saturday. And all the stores had them that I went to, you know, and people were not even really picking them up, you know. I did. I got a couple copies, and I'm kind of glad that I did, you know. But there was a lot of sales going on in the comic book shops. I was like, they were trying to unload books like crazy. I don't know if there's a trend starting with books being unloaded, but I mean, all these are variants that were in the dollar bin. These are dollar bin books that were on sale on Free Comic Book Day. The Amazing Spider-Man variant issue for number 49. Picked that one up. Picked 2 copies of the Scotty Young variant, Avengers Assemble Omega, number 1. Black Panther number 12 variant. Now, like I said, mine, these are all $1. Black Panther number 9 variant. Daredevil, I don't know the issue number. I forgot to write it down. So pick that one up. Dark Crisis on Infinite Earth number 1. A great Jim Lee cover. Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths number 5. Dr. Aphra, number 20, number 21, and number 26, which is a cool cover. I like that cover a lot. Ghost Rider, number 13. Mary Jane and Black Cat, number 3. Miracle Man, The Silver Age, number 1. Once Upon a Time at the End of the World, Virgin variant, number 1. Poison Ivy, number 11. I don't know what the hoopla is about this cover. It's just different. But to me, the whole picture is like a waste of space. To me, I mean, yeah, this little figure down to the right corner of Poison Ivy, but beyond that, it's just so much wasted space. I mean, I don't know. Star Wars number 25. Star Wars number 25 again with Luke. Number 31, Lando Calrissian. Number 4 of the Scarlet Witch. Picked up another copy of that. Wolverine number 24 with the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon variant. Wolverine number 22 with X-23 in her Hellfire Gala variant outfit. This is X-Force, I think, number 6. No, 36 with a Stormbreaker cover of Nightcrawler. And X-Men Black. Okay. I had to divide this up into 2 videos because I got so many books that I'm only going to show this and this last set of books, and the other video will be other books that I picked up. Now, May the 4th be with you. I think May the 4th was with me because I went back and found a lot more Dark Horse comics. Dark Horse Presents Annual 2000 with R.S. Singh on the front cover, Star Wars, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Picked up Star Wars Episode 1, Anakin Skywalker photo cover. Photo cover, episode 1. I can't say Qui-Gon Jinn photo cover. Now this got me. I was like, man, I got an error copy. I'll show it to you in a second. Star Wars episode number 1, Obi-Wan Kenobi, with the photo cover. This is the one when I picked it up. I said, oh man, what's going on with this book? I mean, he looks funny, like he's on a Star Trek transporter ready to be beamed up. He just looked funny. And it was so awkward. I was like, maybe I got an error book. And I was like, I'm going to get this book. I'm going to get this book. So when I got home and I transferred it into another bag, I found out that this book actually is a Dynamic Forces episode 1, Phantom Menace, Obi-Wan Kenobi, glow-in-the-dark cover. 1 of 15,000 copies. So I was like, okay, well, that's cool. So I'm going to attempt to show you how it looks. Glowed in the dark. Got to turn this light out. Let's see what happens. I ain't got enough light. I'm gonna put it in the light for a couple minutes. I'll come back to it, and we'll look at it a little later. Star Wars Legacy. Number 0, pick that one up. Star Wars Cassian and K2SO from Rogue One, issue number 1. Star Wars Tales number 1 with a cool Darth Vader cover. Excuse me for 1 second while I'll put this under the light. Star Wars Tales number 7. A cool Boba Fett cover. Excuse me for 1 second, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. Alright, I'm back. I was happy that I got this next set of books. I already had the first issue, which is Rogue One, number 1. But I got the rest of them. These Phil Noodle covers are fan-freaking-tastic. Rogue number 2. Donnie Yen on the cover. Number 3. My man that played Hannibal Lecter on the cover. Number 4. That's a cool Darth Vader cover. Number 5. with the oh boy, with the characters on the cover. Number 6. Which is the final one in that series. I also found Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Squadron, issue number 1. This was going for a few bucks. I don't know if it still is or not. I'm not sure. Number 2. Number 3. And number 4. 4. And I found Star Wars Tale of the Jedi. I already have this. I had like a couple copies of this. Issue number 1. Number 2. Number 3, number 4, and number 5. Cool looking cover. Alright, intermission time, folks. While I go get this book I put underneath the light, I don't want to burn it up. Be back in quick the flash. Alright, let's try it out again, see what happens. Let's see if it glows. Ouch! Get old, your hip goes bad. Oh yeah, it's okay. It is popping a little bit. You can see. Wow. I mean, it works, but okay. Plus, the book is kind of old, so it may have lost a little bit of its oomph. This really, when I found this, I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. We're cooking. THRAWN number 1. THRAWN number 2. THRAWN number 3. THRAWN number 4. And THRAWN number 5. And the last one, number 6. Now, the coup de grace, the coup de Gracie, whatever you want to call it. It's Star Wars, another copy, Heir to the Empire, number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, and 6. I got another set. And I was like, man, it's wild. And that was on May the 4th. So the Force was with me on that one. And I was so happy. Man, I was happy. Oh, good. I did pretty good time. 15 minutes and 41 seconds. So maybe I will show these other books and get them out of the way and put everything away. Okay, let's go through this stack. These are all, I think. No, they're not. They're not all dollar books. But these are some good books that I picked up. These are dollar books. I'll let you know if they're dollar books or not. This is a dollar book. And the reason I got this is the first time Superior Spider-Man met the X-Men. I really liked Superior Spider-Man. I thought it was a good, well-written series within the series of Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man 698. When Dr. Octopus transfers Peter Parker's mind into his body and his mind into Peter Parker's body. The beginning of Superior Spider-Man. Found another copy for $1 of first time meeting of Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man and X-Men. New Mutants number 1 for $1, which is a cool Alex Ross cover. Another Invincible Iron Man number 2. I just picked it up. This was a cool cover. I got this for $1. Fantastic Four 602. Nice Galactus cover. I went back and picked up these Arthur Adam covers for Secret Avengers, issue number 31. Issue number 29. Sorry, they're not in order. Issue number 30. Wow, they're way out of order. Spider-Man Noir number 2, which is a cool looking cover. I like that cover. Thundercats number 1, cool Arthur Adams cover. I had the rest of them. I didn't have number 1, and I'm glad that I got it. Now these, I will go into the kiddie section and look at it, because a lot of the comic book shops have a separate section for kiddie comic books for the kids, you know. And I'll look, because there's quite a bit of good books that are in the kiddie section, and you know they're bagged and boarded, but I had to rebag and board them. And I especially like these Uncle Scrooges that are done by Don Rosa. Don Rosa covers. If you don't know who Don Rosa is second to Carl Barks as far as when it comes to drawing any of the Disney Duck family. Carl Barks' art for Uncle Scrooge, Donald Duck and stuff is unparalleled, and it's worth a lot of money if you get any Carl Barks book. Don Rosa came along and put his spin on it, and his books are picking up steam. And every time I see them, especially when they're super cheap, I'll get them. And the children's books were $3 a piece, so I just went hog wild on them. I got Uncle Scrooge number 255, The Flying Dutchman. Uncle Scrooge, Walt Disney Uncle Scrooge number 263. Gladstone's number 13. And the Gladstone books, I really, in particular, like to get, because I remember they were out, and back in that time period, I wasn't really into getting these books, and you know that my mind wasn't set on that. I was more into the superhero thing at that time, and now that I look back on it and I see how beautiful these books are, you know, I really missed the boat, but I'm glad I can get them at a cheap price now. Uncle Scrooge number 260. I got 2 of them. Yep, sure do. 263. I got 2 of them. Huh. Walt Disney, Donald Duck, Gladstone, issue number 266. I really like this cover because it's black and there's no ticks on this book. This book is nice. Donald Duck Adventures number 10 from Gladstone. Donald Duck Adventures number 9. Donald Duck Adventures number 18. These are some beautiful well-rendered comic books. I mean, if you can appreciate what I'm talking about, you know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to these books. They're just beautiful, beautiful books. Down Deck Adventures number 17, Curse of the Lost Empress. Donald Duck number 16. And that's it for the funny books. Now, I did pick up, I know, not quite. I went to a flea market, right? And this flea market, there was one stall. This guy had oodles and oodles of comic books. And they were like the old independent books back in the day, like back when Turtles first came out, and everybody was like mimicking the Turtles or coming up with some weird titles from out of the blue. And I picked up a few before a long time ago, but most of the stuff he had in there was just stuff that I had already looked at, and he doesn't really get any newer books in. So I flipped through them and I went on and went outside the major flea market, and they had like little stalls on the outside. This guy had a lot of books, right? They were in this like folder, these I don't know what kind of, like a letter protector. When you got a letter that you want to protect, you put it in a sleeve and put it in a binder. Well, he had these comic books all in these binders. And the books are like, they went 10 rounds with Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali. That's how bad these books, all of them were beat up. Talk about ticks. They had so many ticks, man. I thought I was going to get Lyme disease by touching them. It was just terrible, I tell you. Shaboom, boom. But getting back to what I was saying, man. And I asked this guy, I said, well, I don't even know why I asked him, because I wasn't buying none of that. None of that ratty-tatty books. I mean, they were terrible. And they weren't old books. They were like modern, maybe bronzes, in between there. And I asked this man, I said, excuse me, sir, how much are your comic books? He said, $5 a piece. Boy, he said it with authority. They're $5 a piece. I said, okay, have a nice day. I'll see you later. I kept on going. So I went back in the building and I found this other guy, man. He had Cabbage Patch cards, right? The original ones, right? And I said, how much for your Cabbage Patch cards, right? He said, they're expensive. I was like, okay, I ain't even gonna ask you the price on them. Let's keep rolling. I said, you got any comic books? He said, yes, a few of them over there. So I dug through them, a bunch of funny Archie books and stuff. I only pulled out 3, and he wanted $3 a piece for them. This was a newsstand. It's not in the best of shape. Archie, I already have this book too. Archie number 439, bikini cover. Archie Spring Break number 1. Another bikini cover with Betty and Veronica. Archie's Vacation number 4. I'm sorry, that guy, $5. It just cracks me up. Man, I tell you, some of these people, man. I'm sorry. You just had to be there. I'm sorry. Bad host. Jurassic Park, number 1. I did find this at one of my comic book shops. They wanted $5 for it. I was glad to give them $5 for that one. And same thing with this last book that I'm going to show for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Mortal Kombat number 1, Blood and Thunder. Yeah, I was happy to get those books. I was like, man, golly day. But all in all, man, this was a fun, free comic book weekend. Fun. May the 4th, may the force be with you type of a weekend. And I bought a lot of stuff, and I've been trying to straighten up in here, but I gotta come to the realization, either I gotta stop or I gotta get rid of some books so I can keep going. It just ain't gonna work with me. Just keep getting more and more, and I'm squeezing myself into a corner in this room. It's just getting too much. So I'll figure it out one way or the other. But thanks for sticking with me if you stayed this long. Everybody be well. Take care. I will see you in the next video. It's the Bat. Goodbye.